Good morning. Good morning. This, as can be evidenced by this fake bonhomie of personality and wildness, it's another edition of Movie of the Week for Empire Australasia. I'm editor Dan Murphy. With me is senior editor Dave Brown.
Hello.
And reviews editor James Jennings, rather. This is the current issue that's on stands now, Wolf Creek 2, which comes out in February. A gory masterpiece, and there's a fantastic viewer execution on that, so you make sure you get viewer as well before you and make a run off that thing there. Now we are talking about Her, the new film from Spike Jonze. JJ, run us through it.
Yeah, right. Okay, so Her is about a guy called Theodore Twombly, played by Joaquin Phoenix. We've had a bit of debate about the pronunciation of his name. Joaquin.
Joaquin.
I think Joaquin might be right.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Mr. Phoenix, I think.
Mr. Phoenix.
Mr. Phoenix.
Yeah. All right.
We love your work, Mr. Phoenix.
Yeah, right. The Phoenix Meister. So he plays a guy called Theodore Twombly, and it's set in the near future in LA, where basically operating systems for computers are so advanced that they're like an artificial intelligence. And what basically transpires is that he and his operating system, voiced ably by Scarlett Johansson, fall in love. And it's basically a love story between a guy and his operating system, which sounds ridiculous and kind of like a modern update of the crappy 80s film Electric Dreams. But it is amazing. It's such a well-handled, nuanced film and explores some very, very sort of like pertinent issues that are, sort of relate to modern day in terms of like our relationship with our devices and how attached we get into like our cyber selves and all that kind of thing. So it's a really interesting film.
He's on the rebound too, isn't it? So we've got a clip here where he's talking to Samantha about the breakup of his marriage. Let's have a look at it now.
So what was it like being married?
Well, it's hard for sure. But there's something that feels so good about sharing your life with somebody.
How do you share your life with somebody?
Well, we grew up together. I used to read all of her writing all through her master's and PhD. And she read every word I ever wrote. We were a big influence on each other. I still find myself having conversations with her in my mind, rehashing old arguments and defending myself against something she said about me.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Last week, my feelings were hurt by something you said before, that I don't know what it's like to lose something, and I found myself...
I'm sorry I said that.
No, it's okay, it's okay. I caught myself thinking about it over and over, and then I realized that I was simply remembering it as something that was wrong with me. That was a story I was telling myself, that I was somehow inferior. Isn't that interesting? The past is just a story we tell ourselves.
Scarlett Johansson's voice is amazing, isn't it? I mean, it's part of her incredible charms as an actress over the last sort of decade or so. Her voice is kind of never really discussed because she's such a beautiful lady, beautiful woman. But yeah, I mean, her voice is part of her sex appeal, definitely.
Absolutely, yeah. This sort of husky, very feminine sort of presence. So yeah, Samantha, the operating system who she voices, is basically a main character in this film. You never see her; she's just a voice, and you kind of forget that Joaquin is basically acting on his own throughout this entire film.
It's a one-man show.
It's a one-man show.
What did you think, Dave?
Yeah, I thought it was absolutely fantastic film. As we've said already, Mr. Phoenix is fantastic in this. It just really works well, and I think one of the reasons it works so well is that this film is set in the not too distant future, and you look out the window and you watch the world go by and everyone's walking along, earpieces plugged in, they're chatting to their phones. Most of the time they just look like a bunch of mad people strolling along chatting to themselves. And it's the same in the film. It's not too big a stretch to imagine that once operating systems become a little bit more self-aware and gain a consciousness, that people could fall in love.
Yeah, it's totally believable.
With their devices.
For many people, our primary relationship already is our devices.
Yeah, we speak to them more than our families most of the time.
We listen to them more than we listen to anything else. I mean, there's a great scene in this where they're having... where Theodore and Samantha are having a picnic with a couple of friends, and she's part of the conversation. They got her on speakers, and everyone's
Yeah.
you know, and the humans are like, oh, you know, laughing. Oh, sorry, we're only human. You know, she becomes, and she's very self-deprecating.
Yeah. Well, she's basically Joaquin sort of has a phone in his pocket so she can see. So she's just like getting to
He
like
props it up
interact.
so the camera can see.
Yeah, he's got like a little safety pin in his top pocket so she can be pushed up and sort of witness everything that's going on. It's bizarre. And look, you know, a lot of people I know who don't know too much about the film kind of think it sounds like a silly premise.
Yeah.
And sure, it kind of does, but when you watch it, you see what an amazing piece of work it is. And like any good sci-fi, it really does, you know, sort of like make us question, what is it to be human? What is a relationship? What makes a relationship meaningful? How do we interact with our environment? It asks the big questions, but in really intelligent, interesting ways. It's never cheesy. It's never stupid. It's a very engaging, unique piece of work.
So look, it's a potential Oscar winner. And what are we giving it?
Look, I'm giving it a solid 4. Anyone who loves cinema and likes sort of like very original pieces of work, and a lot of people kind of complain about nothing's original these days at the cinema. Go see this. Like Spike Jonze as being John Malkovich in adaptation, it's a very, very unique piece of work. So get out and see it.
4.
What he said, 4 stars. Fantastic film.
4 stars from us. Next week we're going to be talking about the great Martin Scorsese's latest amazing epic, The Wolf of Wall Street. Until then, see you next time.